See, the people go for counseling. Different type of counseling. Counseling a person is understanding the background, trying to give a solution. So all counseling is in the domain of mind. A counselor also should be very evolved to help you with the counseling problems. But the challenge is, a mind cannot solve the problem of the mind. Any problem can be solved only you go beyond the domain of the problem. If you are in the mind domain, trying to find a solution in the domain of the mind, using another mind, still you are trapped in the mind. So that's why Indian systems focused on spirituality, which means going beyond the mind. Once you go beyond the mind, mental problems will be irrelevant. People speak of vasanas and samskaras in the Sanatana Dharma. But there will be always a caution. Don't worry about vasanas and samskaras. Vasanas and samskaras are causing you problem. Okay? How to become vasanas and samskaras? Do some service, karma yoga. Don't worry about vasanas and samskaras. Because the more you worry about vasanas and samskaras, the vasanas and samskaras will get strengthened. Do some service. Do some yajna. Right? So, it's not running away. The more you worry about something, it will get strengthened. So, in counseling, what will happen? We try to find a problem and try to find a cause. I know a person who had a problem of addiction. He was suffering. And he goes to a counselor. Then he comes back and tells, now I understood the problem, why I am addicted. It's because my parents in my childhood were not loving me. Okay? So, I know the parents also. Whatever he has told me is not right. But what happens, our mind will start understanding cause and effect. And that cause and effect will cause more problems. Another student of mine was a counselor. That person said, after 6 months of counseling, I also started getting depression, listening to the patients. Typically, a counselor will require a counselor. It's a chain. A mental problems solving in the domain of the mind creates more problems. You have to go beyond the domain of the mind. That's why in Sanatana Dharma, the focus is on the spirituality, focus on the yoga. Yoga also tells the problems of the mind. But they says the solution is union, integration. The solution is realizing the higher self rather than trying to solve the problem. You are not bypassing the problem. You are not addressing the problem. You are actually addressing the real problem, which is actually lack of self-knowledge, Atma Jnana. Okay. So now, is there equivalent of counseling in Sanatana Dharma? I don't know about it. I don't know any other subject. It's equal to Manashastra. Okay. I don't think there is a subject called Manashastra as practiced in the modern day. So possibly a counseling method for earlier days was what you call as astrology. So people go to astrology, they will go with some problems. Everybody goes with the problems only. Okay. Business problem, health problem, or family problem, relationship problem, all those things. Now astrology will say, look at the horoscope and look at the timing of question. Then he will do some calculation and tell you. Now because this planet is in this position, this planet is in there, 2-3 years it will continue. Now what has happened here, your personal problem has been converted impersonal. In counseling, you are taking personal problem and trying to solve the personal problem. In astrology, personal problems has been converted to impersonal problem. Now, you cannot do anything about that planet which is sitting there. After 3 years, it will come out. So what will happen? Now, one thing you learn, oh, that is causing me a problem. Let me wait for 3 years. So at least you will develop some patience. Okay, then you don't start blaming and finding fault with others for your personal problem. So personal has been converted to impersonal. In that sense, it gives some relief. Now, what astrologers say right or astrologers right science, I can't say. But what he is trying to do is personal issues, it is converted into impersonal issue. The more personal issues you convert, personal issue you try to probe, the more personal it gets. It's like quicksand. You have heard of quicksand? Quicksand is you put your leg there, it will suck you inside. Okay? So you are finding a problem, you will find another cause, another problem. It will endless chain. Because mind, the problems of the mind, you have to find a solution in the higher domain. Okay, this higher domain is spirituality, the higher domain is God, higher domain is astrology, planetary position. I'm not commenting astrology is right or wrong. I'm saying what it is doing. In effect, it's a counseling tool in the hands of a good astrologer. So you have heard of this organization called Alcoholics Anonymous, AA, right? It was started by a person who was addict, a rich man. His liver was spoiled. The doctor told, if you drink anymore, you'll die. Your liver is spoiled. So this person has gone to psychological counseling with the best psychiatrist at that point of Carl Jung. Okay, best psychiatrist at that time. So that guy gives a treatment for many years. He has lost money, but drug addiction is not gone. All counseling, nothing is working. Then he says, is there any hope for me? The psychologist says, I have done my best. Now God only can save you. I have given up. That means practically he said, I have given up. So then he got really, what I'm saying is, understood. So then he goes and does a prayer to God. Please save me. I don't have the ability to handle my problems. Please help me, uplift me. Now he is invoking higher power. Higher power is beyond the mind. In that sense, he recovered. So now he realized that the praying to higher power has the ability to solve, whereas the counseling and mental domain is in the domain of the mind. It didn't solve his problem. Then he goes back to the hospital. The hospital doctors are surprised. Then he collects all other patients who are coming there. They form an association called Alcoholics Anonymous, AA. So that means to solve the problem of the mind, you have to go beyond the mind. That our ancestors understood very well. So the beyond mind is two ways. One is prayer, yajna, okay, or a service, or getting a counseling, astrologer. Now what will astrologer do? He'll say, you are now under trouble. So these are the planets are here. You have to wait for 2 years, 3 years. Then it will give you. Then you do some, what you call as some offering, okay, or give some charity. You'll get relief. So in the process, what will happen? Personal problem has been converted to impersonal, and some remedy has been given. Whether how effective is the remedy, it all depends on the belief of the person who is doing it. Faith, right? It works in everywhere. If you are going to homeopathy, that you are going with homeopathy because of belief. If you are going to allopathy, you are going to a belief. It's all ultimately belief is important. Even astrology, the belief will work. Finally, whether astrology works or homeopathy works, I don't know. Belief will work. So, but what will happen is personal has been converted to impersonal in astrology. Okay? So, always invoking the higher power, not personal, God or stars, will help in some way. Srila Prabhupada, when he went to America, lot of youngsters were addicted, drug addicts. So then he started, American government was spending millions of dollars on de-addiction. They are called hippies that time. Srila Prabhupada started Hare Krishna chanting. Just by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, thousands of hippies, they got purified. The drug addiction problem got solved, which government cannot do with lot of money, dollar. So that means our mental domain, we have to transcend. That's why Sanatana Dharma focus on yoga. That's why Sanatana Dharma focus on Atma Dhnana, Atma Vichara. Okay. So I have vasanas and samskaras. Don't bother vasana samskara. Okay. Now what is happening in your life is prarabdha karma. That means karma. Karma is not running away from your responsibility. Karma is taking responsibility for your life. Now you focus. Don't worry to try to solve the vasanas impressions. Try to engage in chanting of God's name. Try to engage in service. So that what will happen? The more you focus on vasana, the more vasanas will get strengthened. So you don't focus on vasana, focus on great positive thing. It will give you relief. That's the purpose. So that's why chanting of God's name helps. That's what Prabhupada found Many of the Americans got de-addicted, right? Now the question is whether astrology really works. Okay, so now it's again a belief system. Everything we work in belief only. Science is a belief, medicine is a belief. Now, is astrology real? So astrology comes from principle that we are a individual is totally integrated with the universe. It's not we look as a separate entity, but we are a part of the whole. The whole involves stars, planets and galaxies. Individually you may look like a body, but really energetically you are connected to the whole universe. Energy of the whole universe flows through you. So the concept is a cosmic energy which is all over, integrates everything. So this they have found in modern quantum physics also. Quantum physics says what they call as if you give one spin to electron, the electron somewhere in the galaxy also gets a spin because everything is connected. Electron may appear very small. Everything in the universe is connected whole. That's the principle. Okay. Now the connected whole, how will it affect me? That's what astrology is trying to tell you. So the astrological chart what's there is supposed to be more like a Janma Kundali. Janma Kundali means your karmic footprint with you are born. Okay. That is, each individual is a unique time. So there's a unique cosmic footprint, and that unique cosmic footprint is determining the cosmic energy and karma which you are born with. With that he is trying to make a prediction. So in that prediction there's a counseling methodology. Astrology, a good astrology is also supposed to be a good counselor. Gradually take your mind off the personal issues, personal problems, focus on impersonal, in that way get detached, then try to a real solution will emerge. That's what's supposed good to be. Astrology is supposed to be a counselor. In earlier days, a very evolved person, guru, used to be a counselor, astrologer. He will tell, then what will happen, he will see where you are, then he will give you path of yajna, service, or charity, or yatra, okay, or some offering, okay, then kamya karma to nishkama karma to naishkarmya to jnana. He is supposed to guide you step by step. So in the sense, astrology is a counseling for mental issues as well as a tool for spiritual journey. That's what was earlier. Now I can't say whether astrologers are doing their job effectively, but this is the principle. So we being integrated with the total cosmos, definitely we feel the energy in some way because we are sensitive to the energy. The entire universe is energetically connected. That's the principle of astrology. So in that sense, the problems of the mind, you have to go beyond the mind. Going beyond the mind is called yoga. Going beyond the mind is called Adhyatma. And astrology can be a good counseling tool in the hands of an evolved person. Any questions?
But final realization or solution is Atma-jnana only.
Yeah, finally you go to Atma-jnana, but people are not.
In the hands of a evolved astrologer.
Yeah, in the hands of a evolved astrologer, it may happen a step by step.
Otherwise, if it doesn't help, but it will not make any damage.
It will be step by step. So that means I'm speaking of the background of astrology. I'm not speaking of astrologers whether some person is good or bad, whether he is doing right or not. I don't know. There are some good scientists or bad scientists, good doctor or bad doctor. I can't make a judgment. So the astrology is based on the principle that entire universe is energetically one whole, cosmic whole. Okay, whether the interpretation is correct or wrong, I don't know. But what I'm saying is ultimately it is an energy pattern in the universe which affects our life. That's all it is.